Vegan side effect. Can't find business in hell. All closed on you.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Another issue is caffeine. Some athletes use caffeine, but caffeine can make it difficult to achieve and maintain peak bone mass. And it can make our body get rid of extra calcium in the urine.
Continue watching to find out more.
Intelligent viewers, I am Miroslav. If you visit Slovakia, you may be greeted with Ako sa máte. That means how are you in Slovak, the official language of Slovakia. The people of charming Slovakia wish that your noble ideas be put into practice and fulfilled. Welcome to our show, Professor Timaree Hagenburger, vegan, peaking with plant-based sports nutrition, part 3 of 3. Professor Timaree Hagenburger is an American registered dietitian nutritionist with a master's degree in public health, a nutrition professor at Cosumnes River College in Sacramento, California, as well as a certified exercise physiologist through the American College of Sports Medicine. Besides giving talks on nutrition to help people achieve optimal health, she also teaches cooking. Professor Hagenburger published the cookbook The Foodie Bar Way to inspire people to prepare simple, delicious and nutritious vegan meals through marvelous methods. In order to provide students a broader perspective on personal health and care for the environment, Professor Hagenburger co-founded a Certificate of Proficiency in Plant-Based Nutrition and Sustainable Agriculture program in 2017 at Cosumnes River College.
I teach the plant-based nutrition lecture, and then I also teach the hands-on plant-based food principles and preparation. And so that is in the kitchen. We do nearly 100 recipes over the semester and talk about all different types of techniques, as well as ingredients and equipment. And then the sustainable ag class is taught in the garden on campus. And so they go from the ground to the greenhouse. The students get the 360-degree version of the whole process, from why to eat the food, and then how to grow the food, and then how to make the food. And so it is fantastic. This is more than just about personal health. These choices affect the environment, not only the animals, but the planet we live on.
In the previous episode, Professor Hagenburger introduced to us the caloric intake needs of athletes based on different types of sports, and she lovingly offered her thoughts on achieving a smoother recovery post-competition. Today, we will learn about topics related to bone health, as well as tips on how food can affect an athlete's mental state and thus performance.
It's a whole symphony of nutrients that need to come together to produce and maintain our bones. We have osteoclasts that break down bone cells, and we have osteoblasts that build up new bone tissue. So we're constantly working through that. And we need vitamin C, we need vitamin K, we need vitamin D, we need vitamin A, we need calcium and phosphorus and magnesium and even vitamin B12 in order to make healthy bones and to keep that going throughout our whole life. And the potassium in fruits and vegetables comes with citrate and bicarbonate precursors. They will help protect the bones and help those osteoblasts build that bone tissue. We also see that calcium can be found in green leafy vegetables. As long as we're consuming the low oxalate vegetables, the bok choy and the kale and the collard greens and the arugula and the okra and the broccoli, those are fabulous sources of calcium. And all those green leafy vegetables also come with vitamin K. Vitamin K is very critical for not only blood clotting, which is what most people think, but also bone health. Now, I had mentioned B12, and that's something that most people don't think about with bones, but it is important for helping those osteoblasts build the bones and reducing homocysteine levels. And with B12, it's not made in animals or in plants. It's actually made by bacteria. So that's actually the one supplement I recommend everybody take. The latest research shows that it's cyanocobalamin is the source that we want, and we want about 50 micrograms per day or 2,000 each week. But it's important that we take it separate and not as part of a multivitamin, because they have been shown to make B12 analogs that will kind of make it difficult for our body to use that B12. And additionally, with bone density, we need to think about vitamin D, because vitamin D helps calcium and phosphorus get absorbed and deposit into the bones themselves. Our bodies take cholesterol in our skin and convert it with UV exposure to vitamin D that's then activated by our liver and our kidneys. So we need to consume the vitamin D from sun exposure. That's kind of a way to consume, but also from mushrooms. And some athletes will, in the winter or with dark skin, may want to consider a supplement, and they would want to, for plant-based, go with a vitamin D3 that's made from lichen, not lanolin. That would be an animal source. But mushrooms that are exposed to UV light can also be a fantastic source of vitamin D. And magnesium also plays a role in bone health. There's so many nutrients that play a role in the bone health, but magnesium impacts our parathyroid hormone, and that can regulate how much calcium and phosphorus our body takes in. And so magnesium, again, from nuts and seeds and legumes and green leafy vegetables.
Professor Hagenburger points out that athletes may not realize how some lifestyle choices can negatively impact their bones.
Another issue is caffeine. Some athletes use caffeine, but caffeine can make it difficult to achieve and maintain peak bone mass. And it can make our body get rid of extra calcium in the urine. Now, alcohol is something else that some people use, but that can make it difficult for our bones to achieve the bone mass, the peak bone mass, as well as maintain it. So we don't want to be consuming alcohol. And then lastly, animal protein and sodium, especially, and often they come together. There's a lot of sodium in the processed animal products that can undermine bone health as well.
For many people, participating in sports is a great way for maintaining good health and adding more fun to life. And the activities strengthen bonds between friends and family. But when it comes to Olympic events and sports competitions at a professional level, training is serious work for athletes who are striving to take first in a tournament or win a medal. Having a peaceful mind is one of the important things that help athletes to achieve their best, and their mental state is also affected by the foods they eat.
There are studies that show, depending on how you feed people, and especially the processed food, the animal-heavy fast food, it can actually make people depressed. It can affect their mood. Another area that it affects is the gut microbiome. This is very popular now. People are learning about all of these bacteria in our body that live synergistically with us. They make these brain neurotransmitters. As much as 90% of the serotonin in our body comes from the gut bacteria. So if we're starving these gut bacteria with the low-carb diet fad that you're hearing people talk about, then that's going to affect our mood. When I ask my students, how do they feel? They always say, I feel better in my own skin. I feel more energetic. I feel happier.
For the end of our show, Professor Hagenburger shares some encouraging words.
I think that people underestimate the power that they have in their knife and fork and spoon to really impact the quality of their life. Once people start to make those changes, they will realize how good they could feel. Every move, every bite towards more plant-based is a gift to every cell in your body. So to think about the most variety, the most color, the natural foods, the better. And just to celebrate that we're so grateful for the ability to make these choices on our own and to be grateful for the body that you have and to take very good care of it, one bite at a time.
We appreciate Professor Timaree Hagenburger sharing with us such fantastic knowledge on nutrition. We hope that the 3 episodes have inspired and given you greater confidence to adopt a plant-based diet to achieve optimal health and thrive, whether you are an athlete or not. For more information about Professor Timaree Hagenburger and her book, The Foodie Bar Way, please visit foodiebars.com and thenutritionprofessor.com. Vigorous viewers, we are honored to have you with us today for our concluding episode. Up next is Whatever We Want, We Will Have It, part 10 of 12 on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May you always have a joyous heart and tranquil state of mind by the grace of the divine. Vegan, hurry up for heaven!
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/HL.
Unsere Sendungen bieten viele Sprachen. Gehen Sie auf suprememastertv.com/schedule und suprememastertv.com/KL.